Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love is Blind, Season 7, Episode 3.
Listen, I need y'all to check out the last 2 episodes as well as subscribe, like, share, comment. Blair, you ready to walk us through this?
Yes.
Let's go.
So Taylor and Garrett meet.
Okay.
He gets on one knee. He proposes. She says yes. They kiss. She shares that her mom's name is Fong and she is from Hong Kong. And they do find each other attractive.
Hey, listen here. I think they're trying to put them as our model couple, but we will see about them.
We will see. Next, Ramses and Bodon find out that they have the same number one. It is Marissa.
Uh-oh.
So Marissa and Bodon go on their date. He tells her that he knows basically like who she pretty much is. And he asks her, you know, what advice would your parents, or she asked what would your advice would your parents give to us.
Okay.
And his mom would tell her to call if she has any issues with him. And her mom would tell him to be patient with her and also not to break her heart.
Okay.
So she thought that she had been in love a few times before. She was in the Navy, but for real, she was probably only in love once before.
One time.
He says twice, his ex-wife and a girl he dated on and off when he was like 18 to 21.
Okay.
So she jokes around and is talking about, yeah, well, you know, you're in the military. I don't know how serious I can take that marriage. And he says he got married towards the end of his 8 years that he was serving.
Okay.
So it's a yellow flag for both of them that they were in the military, but they're a lot alike, which kind of turns it into a green flag.
Yeah, she tried to say it's kind of like a red to yellow flag because he was in the military as if she wasn't.
Right.
He said, well, I could say it's a flag for you too, but so far we will see about them.
Yes. Next, we have Ramses and Marissa. He got in his head when he found out about her connection with Bodon, and he just feels like he needs a little bit of reassurance. She tells him that she feels strongly for him and wants to continue to explore their connection.
Okay.
She likes that he's a sensitive person. They end up discussing house duties, kids' responsibilities, just kind of what their life would look like in that way. He said that he would want to help out to make her load as easy as possible, and she makes it clear that she is not a stay-at-home person. She's in law school. She wants to be a lawyer, and she would even be okay if he decided to stay at home. He doesn't mind taking care of the household duties.
Listen here, you tell me I ain't got work, I might take your offer. Be careful what you say. You get what I'm saying? You may be trying too hard to preach equality. The next thing you know, you got a man who don't work.
Well, to me, I've seen some women like that who like will travel and have, you know, travel jobs in healthcare, whatever the case may be. And their man just travels with them and they just stay at home.
I'm bringing the system. I'm bringing the PlayStation with me.
So next we see Tim and Alex. They are having a game night. He says he's a dog, but he needs somebody who's going to bite back.
Yeah.
He doesn't need somebody to always agree with him because he agrees with himself.
Yeah.
So they're just pretty much having a great time together.
Listen, don't fall for that thing that people like to say in the beginning of, you know what, I need someone who is going to bite back, or I need someone who's going to put me in my place. Because when it's time to be put in your place, they don't like it. Nobody never likes it. Nobody likes being disagreed with or argued with all the time and things like that. It sounds good, but there's a balance. Like, I don't want to push over, but at the same time, I don't want an argument.
Yeah.
I don't know what word I was going to say.
Argumentative person.
I don't want an argumentative person with every time I think of something.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
So Ashley got Tyler cake and balloons for his birthday.
Yeah.
And she wrote a little note and she reads to him that she feels safe with him.
Yeah.
She is grateful that he has chosen her to be with, and he proposes to her. She says yes.
I don't trust him. I don't trust him. But let's keep going.
So we learned that Hannah has lost 40 pounds.
Yeah.
She is now happy to know that she and Brittany, she is not happy to know that she and Brittany are dating the same guy.
Yeah. Now, this is where we can kind of get more in depth of why she may feel that ugly duckling syndrome that I like to call it, to where she just lost 40 to 45 pounds that like she picked up over COVID. So it's probably giving her more time than usual for her to actually feel confident about herself. Even weight in itself is a sensitive issue when it came to her. So I can now kind of see, as we go see later on down the line, that when my man Nick probably said something about a bikini, probably all innocent, she probably was very like, what do you mean my body? You get what I'm saying? So like now I kind of see where she's coming from.
So Leo tells David it's between Brittany and Hannah for him. David said that Hannah was his number one at one point. She's 5'9", but she ended up cutting him out because he's 5'8".
Wow.
Leo doesn't know, basically if that's the kind of girl he would want in his life.
I don't know what Leo wants. That's the whole thing about it. Leo keeps saying about what he wants and what he don't wants, but I am on episode 3 and I still don't know what he wants.
Yeah.
In the least a bit.
Yeah, I don't think Leo knows at this point. Brittany can usually seduce people with her eyes, but she doesn't have her superpower now that she's behind a wall. She has dated some amazing guys with status, but they have all had so many girls that they could easily choose from.
Yeah.
And it's kind of bringing up that trauma in her of being pitted against another woman for a man's attention.
I hear you, Brittany, but I'm always going back to what you said. You said you're a trophy wife, but yet when it's come down to you being pinned against other women, you get sensitive or like you don't want to compete. Hey, listen here. I'm not a big fan of Brittany at all, to be honest. I know like in the beginning, in the first impressions, we said Hannah's probably going to be our villain. I take that back. I don't think Hannah's going to be the villain. I'm looking at Brittany. Definitely Leo. Leo already won that already.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But I don't trust Brittany.
So Leo and Brittany have their date. He's trying to figure out what the future looks like. He tells her that, he's not giving her the emotional security she needs right now. And she just lets him know as well, look, this isn't your decision completely. She could say no and just leave this entire process.
She could.
He's scared that if he gives her validation that she would be more hurt if he doesn't choose her. And Brittany tells him that she will be fine. He tells her that she is sweet, but she's annoyed. She's tired of hearing that. Everybody keeps calling her sweet. But he also lets her know that she is smart and that she is strong. You is kind, you is important. She just wants to have a fun date when it comes to this later on date, because at first he's trying to tell her, I'm going to have one more date with Hannah and then I'm going to see you tonight. I'm going to make a decision, but I need to have one more date with Hannah. And she's like, honestly, I'd rather you just sleep on it. The date tonight, I just want us to have a fun time together. And he agrees that he will plan a fun date night and he will have a surprise for her.
What are your thoughts on Leo and Brittany right here?
Leo needs to give more reassurance. Like, if he really feels strongly about her, I think that it's not in his best interest to keep talking about how he feels strongly for two people. If you're in this conversation with her, tell her how you feel about her and her alone. And not only when she's talking about she's upset or she's tired of hearing she's sweet, and then here you go just start rambling off traits, or whatever. I'm just like, actually say how you feel about her and why you're in this predicament when it comes to her alone.
Yeah.
So
with Leo, he's pandering. And I think Brittany can feel it, because even when he said you're sweet, and she's like, why are you complimenting me now? This is not the time to be talking about how sweet I am. She's like, I'm about to leave. And even when she was like, you know what? Why don't you sleep on it and just like come up with a decision that way? And he was like, oh my God, you're so wise.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're so. It's like, Leo, you don't seem genuine in the least a bit.
Yeah.
Like, you just seem so fake.
It feels a little condescending too.
Yeah, I mean, because he feels like she's not.
Yeah.
I told y'all that last episode. But so like he just comes off as phony.
Next we have Hannah and Leo.
Yeah.
He talks about how he is financially blessed, but it is also important to him that he has a prenup.
Okay.
Hannah understands it and she would do it. She likes that he is still a hard worker, even though he inherited a lot of money. He could just kind of sit on his hands, but he is continuing to run the family business.
Okay.
She talks about how she has external insecurities, sensitivity about her weight. Her mom would lock up cabinets when she was a child, and she gained weight during COVID, but she ended up losing 45 pounds, but it's all still just very sensitive for her.
Yeah.
She's always been healthy and an active person, but her weight has just always fluctuated. Leo says that he tries to stay in good shape. She says that if he were to gain weight, she wouldn't care. And he said that he would love her even if she was a 500-pound worm.
Yeah.
He would want to say I love you until it's time for a proposal. And Hannah really only wants to talk about their connection, because he kind of brings up, I don't want to say it to one person, then the other person feels away.
Yeah.
Or I say I love you to two people. She's like, I just kind of want to focus on us when we're here with each other. If he proposed, she would say yes, but she still has another connection.
Listen here, man. I'm going to tell you from a guy perspective. When she said she lost 45 pounds and his face was like, 45 pounds. To anybody else, that could seem impressive, right? But to somebody that you want to marry and things like that, his face said, if you lost 45 pounds, like, are you at your goal or are you halfway there?
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like you can tell right then and there that at least I saw that he was like, oh, okay, now I'm starting to get a picture of, or at least you give me an idea of what your habits are, what happened to you. I kind of get an image in my head, because at first he was all happy talking about, I had a dream about you and I had no idea what you looked like and things of that nature. But now he know that this girl lost 45 pounds and now she over there saying the thing as like a book or something like that, or saying, would you love me if I was a worm? And there we go with him pandering again. I love you as a 500-pound worm. It's like it just doesn't seem real.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, okay, now I know this is your insecurity. I'm going to say the things that's going to make you feel secure, even though I don't really feel that way.
Yeah, and it comes across that way.
I feel it right. I feel it right across the screen.
So Hannah and Nick D have their date.
Mm-hmm.
She asked, do you think it was hard transitioning out of football? And he says it was. There were days that he was depressed, but he knows that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
He still has some ways when it comes to kind of working his way up financially. It's kind of been a hard year for him. And she says that it's going to kind of be, tough for her and her marriage. She'll have to probably rely more on her partner because she still has to find another job because she quit her job to be here.
No one told her to quit a job. No one told her to quit a job.
She talks about her insecurities with her weight with Nick as well. And he says that he doesn't care what she looks like. She's beautiful to him. And for some reason, I'm more inclined to believe him.
Exactly. Because it don't take all the you be a 500-pound worm. Nobody even say she got to be 500-pound anything. You get what I'm saying? I understand she may have brought up the weight first, but you don't like. Less is more in these type of conversations and things like that. Yeah. So like with Nick D, I can believe it, even though us guys, we have our preference on what we like or what we are attracted to. But he gave himself to the program, and the program is Love is Blind. And I've learned to love or to be attracted to the person that I don't see.
So we got Steven and Monica. They both talk about their weirdness, how they both can be weird. But, as long as their weirdness fits with each other, they'll be happy.
Okay.
He finds it sexy to feel wanted, and she wants to feel wanted too.
Okay.
They are both falling in love with each other, and they say their I love yous for the first time.
Specifically, he said, I think it's attractive when you treat me like a piece of meat. Steven, what are you on, brother? What are you on, brother? I think he may be a little mad. I think he may be a little nasty man.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Because he's like, I want to be treated like a piece of meat. I want to treat you like a piece of meat, and because we love each other and we want each other. Keep your eye on him. He nasty.
So we see Tyler and Ashley A meet. They hug. They kiss. He proposes. He thinks that she looks amazing.
Yeah.
He's tearing up. She talks about how she loves his beard and his freckles, and she likes that he's not afraid to cry. And he is just really taken in the moment and soaking up her beauty and just telling her how great she looks.
Yeah.
And they both say they love each other and walk away. And honestly,
come on, Blair.
It was very awkward to me, but I think maybe it's just awkward because it was their first time meeting. But I'm just like, I felt Ashley didn't feel 100% comfortable. And I don't know if maybe because Tyler kept staring at her and not really talking to her. Like, I don't know. It was a disconnect for me. It was something a little off in that meeting.
Come on.
What about you?
Blair, if you go touch it now. If you go touch Tyler, his name Tyler, right?
Yes.
He came off as a weirdo, right? And I know this may seem toxic, but there are just certain rules, unwritten rules when it comes to dating that, it builds up or raises the success rate of the relationship. Let's start with this. He was too excited to see her over her excitement.
Okay.
So he's over there. He damn near pinched her cheek.
Yeah.
Like that's how excited he was. That's how giddy he was. It just came off as like energy. Like, and what I get from him is that like he just comes off as someone that like needs to be loved. And like needs that attention, and like, because he's saying things such as like, you make me feel safe, and like, I love you and I'm in love with you, and like, you're so cute, and things of that nature. And I don't know if she have enough maintenance within her, Ashley A, to maintain that relationship.
What do you mean maintenance?
Like, as in, like, every relationship from my part, as a guy and as a woman, there's a certain maintenance that you got to do to each partner and things like that. So it's like, okay, your love language may be quality time, physical touch, or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's enough that she can do
to pour into him
because he needs so much.
Okay.
That's what he's coming off to me. He just come off as very needy, right? And I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I seen 3 episodes of this, and he just felt very giddy, and I'm like, give her a chance to be excited.
Okay. She
didn't seem very excited in the presence. Of course, like, once they went away and things like that, they walked their separate ways. She was happy that she was engaged, but in the moment, he did most of the talking, he did most of the staring, he did most of the complimenting, he did the most.
Okay.
And I feel like that may bite her later on down the line, because he may be a needy person.
Maybe.
He may be a needy person. I don't think she got enough in her to maintain that
what
relationship.
He needs.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So then we get to Nick D and Hannah. She pictures him as superficial originally, but the more she's getting to know him, the deeper he actually is.
Okay.
He understands that the bathing suit comment was an issue for her, and it wasn't necessarily an issue when it came to like him. That was something internally that she was dealing with. He tells her that he is in love with her, and she feels the same way. So they share their I love yous.
Nice.
So Leo sent Brittany, I keep wanting to call her Bridget. Leo sent Brittany his blanket with his cologne, and he asked her what type of rings that she would like. She's like, I'll only tell you if you're only asking one person. And he said that he was going to bring it up with both of them or neither one of them.
That's a weird stance to take, brother.
And she asked, well, do you pretty much want to propose to either one of us? And he says, yes, he is there for both of them. He tells her that it's part of the experiment. And he's like, I guess I would just have to choose whatever ring. And then they start talking about what kind of design she would like. Probably an oval shape with like a simple design with a thin band, because she seems like she might be a petite girl. And she says yes. And she's getting a little less mad because he's knowing what her likes would be. He blows her kisses. She doesn't blow them back. She's still kind of irritated with him.
Of course.
She can't wrap her head around her future husband being this torn between two women.
Yeah.
She feels that she would resent this like in the future when it comes to them. And he says, well, if she feels it's something that she couldn't get over, you know, this wouldn't be a good foundation for a marriage. But honestly, she doesn't know how she would feel in the future.
Okay.
She asks what will happen tomorrow, and he says he does not know.
What are your thoughts?
I think that he keeps throwing it in the women's faces that he has two options. Like,
I like that.
And the thing is, like, I'm so with Hannah, because Hannah kept trying to tell him, I don't really care what you got going on with the other person.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about us. But he, in like every conversation, he's like, well, I got to ask both of y'all. I got to, you know what I'm saying? I'm juggling 2 people right now. I really don't know what I'm going to do. And it's just kind of like, don't talk about her. Like, continue to explore this connection to see if it's something worth having. And I think that he's kind of getting a kick out of having 2 options at this point.
Yeah. And if we go talk about excessive, he sprayed the blanket 40 times.
Yeah.
With cologne. Why? It doesn't need that much.
Yeah.
And to Blair's point, you said it perfectly. I think he feels like Usher. He's like, you my number one.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Like, he's just loving the whole experiment of like, I'm the guy, I got 2 girls. But truth be told, I don't even know if the more and more you talk, and it's not even coming off as being honest. It just coming off as just being weird. Basically like, hey, I have 2 decisions to make, and like, I need to make a decision on what ring I need to get for both of you. So I'm gonna ask you, and then I'm gonna ask her. It's like why are you telling me this? It seems weird. You get what I'm saying? As if he don't have like social like cues of like, you don't say that. You get what I'm saying? It's just weird.
So in the guys lounge, Leo is wondering if he should ask why Hannah re-requested her connection with Nick. Nick D said that she basically they both have shared they loved each other. And that's what Nick is saying. Okay. Hannah is telling the girls in the ladies lounge that she is going to break up with Leo. Leo is talking to some of the guys and saying that he wants, I think he was talking about Hannah, he wants to want Hannah.
That's kind of weird.
So we've got Leo and Hannah talking, and she tells him that she loves the other guy. She feels that that is a stronger connection, and she wants someone who is strong with her. And Leo asks her, like, do you feel I wasn't committed to you? And she says yes. He has another connection. He has really strong feelings for both of these connections. And he was like, you know, I didn't hold it against you that you had two strong connections. She says that she wasn't sure. And then he's like kind of badgering her and asking her, is this set in stone? Do you really have your decision made? Like, how set in stone is this? He feels that someone ripped his heart out of his chest. He thinks that if they could come together, they would have an amazing union. And he says he's just confused. And he asked her, what would you say if I asked you to marry me now? He asked her a few times during that conversation.
You're right.
And he says, like, I just want you to know that I want you to be my wife. He's asking if it's too late.
Yeah, he and Hannah's asking all the right questions of if this is what you wanted to say all along, why didn't you say it before?
Right.
And he was like, I was going to say it today, but not in this way. Now you're forcing me to say it this way. And he's basically like, marry me now. Marry me now.
Yeah.
Marry me now. And like Hannah, she's just there looking distraught. You get what I'm saying? Just looking like, I don't know what to do. And I was kind of confused by Hannah's expression of how she was taking this. Because I'm like, do she feel like this is fake? Like it comes off as performative.
Yeah, it was not hitting me in the feels. I'm like, I did not. I'm
like, Hannah, like, you chose Nick.
It was brought up before, and I'm like, he sounded like a salesman.
Yeah.
Like, he did not sound like his heart was really ripped out of his chest. He sounded like he was desperate not to lose.
And that's why he had to say, my heart is ripped out of my chest.
Yes.
Because, you know, we don't see no heart on the ground or anything of that nature. My thing with Leo is, I don't know if it's so much that he don't want to lose. Because I think that plays a part. But I'm going to this social cue. Like, now the more and more he's on my screen, the more awkward he is. And it's like, not wanting to lose, I can't attribute that to pride, but I want to know, like, bro, you good? like because it's like, you don't seem like you had enough people interaction. And it's like, you just over here saying, marry me now, marry me now, marry me now. And it's like, no, that's not even how you like have a normal conversation. And even how he's talking and like sharing information that's really he's oversharing information. It comes off as if he don't know how to be around people, like in general, outside of just relationships. I don't know. Okay. Leo's just a weirdo. What are your thoughts on this episode?
I thought the episode was pretty good. I feel like, you know, we're kind of wrapping things down as far as people selecting who they want to be with. Yeah. You know, a good portion of people have met. So honestly, I know we got a little ways to go, but I'm ready to get to the vacation. I want to see what's going to pop off. But yes.
Listen here, I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment. We will be back with episode 4 later on today. Y'all be good.
Bye.